Blog Talk Radio.
Que valiente lo seguía, locamente enamorada de un sargento. Popular entre la tropa era Delita, la mujer que el sargento idolatraba.
All right, welcome to the second edition of Sunday Night Spotlight. This is our second edition. Last week we had Walt Harris on the show, and he went ahead, and on Saturday night, if you're not aware, he had a knockout in the first round, just 1 minute into the fight. This week we're joined by a boxer, 21-0 this past weekend, just improved his record. Jessie Vargas. Jessie, welcome to the show. I hope you liked our introduction music there for you. And, of course, it would definitely help if I put him on air there. All right, sorry. Jessie, welcome to the show. How'd you like your intro music there?
Well, it wasn't much my taste, but, it was okay.
Well, I found some mariachi music as quickly as I could. Sorry about that.
No, the mariachi's fine.
What's that?
I said the mariachi's fine. It's just the artist. I don't really know. But it was fine. Thank you.
I don't know either. All right, well, congratulations on your big win this past weekend. Improved to 21-0 with your unanimous decision against Vito Gasparyan. Congratulations on that.
Oh, thank you.
Well, basically this show, basically what we want to do is just introduce everybody who doesn't know who you are, and just kind of give them, the whole background on you and where you're going, that kind of thing. But before we get to that, I guess, obviously yesterday was a huge night in boxing, and it is relevant to you. So just want to get your thoughts on the huge fight last night, Manny Pacquiao and Juan Manuel Marquez. What did you think about that fight?
I think it was a great matchup. You have two fighters that are two talented boxers and professional athletes. You can tell they have a lot of sportsmanship, like conduct, and I think I have a lot of respect for them. And it was a great fight. Two talented boxers that were just trying to beat each other to the next step. Trying to figure each other out and just outsmarting each other. And I think that's what it was. It was just a thinking man's game last night on the Pacquiao-Marquez fight, and they both had their moments, but Marquez looked very strong in this fight, and I think his punches made a difference.
Right. And basically two storylines came out of that, one for each fighter. The first one is, many people are saying that Manny is done. Maybe he's too distracted to fully concentrate on boxing. What are your thoughts? Does he still have more to offer?
I think it's just, if you notice the fight, it was the same fight as it was the last fight. Pacquiao was the aggressor. Marquez was the counterpuncher, was the boxer. And that's pretty much how it's been. It's just Marquez came very strong for this fight. You could tell that he prepared himself physically, and then it made a big difference in the fight. Also, you could tell that punch that he landed, it was a perfect punch. The way he moved when he threw it, the way he dodged the punches before he threw it, it was a punch that was a planned technique. You know what I mean? They had planned that out in their training camp, and it came out to perfection last night. That's all it was. I think just Marquez had the better game plan. That's what it was.
Right, and not sure how much you'll get into this, but the other thing coming out of that was obviously the knockout punch and the much improved physique of Juan Manuel Marquez. So a lot of people immediately, point to, are making performance-enhancing drugs accusations. Any thoughts on that? I guess you can never,
For an athlete, we can't ever doubt him until we have proof. Now in this era, it's easy to criticize someone. It's very easy to criticize someone, but we can't say anything if there's no proof. You know what I mean? We're just talking out of with no thought, basically. You know what I mean? We don't know what we're talking about. You could say, well, you know, there's a possibility, but you can't even say that because until he's proven to be guilty, that's when you actually can say what it is about him. You know what I mean? And then it's just, you know, I guess that's how it is nowadays. You know, you just see someone and I guess you just have to criticize him. But I just think that he prepared well. He really wanted it. He was hungry for this fight. He wanted to prove to everyone. Can it just be that he came in just prepared to land one-punch knockout? Can it just be that? That's what I'm thinking. You know what I mean? I'm going with that. And until I have proof that he is using steroids, then I will agree to it.
Any chance that we can see you in the ring with either one of these guys in the future, and how far away would something like that be?
I mean, of course, I would love the opportunity, but you know, we also have to be ready for it. You know, I think we're going in that direction. We're going in that direction, but you know, hopefully they're still around when we get the opportunity.
Okay. Well, this show is actually, you know, about you, so let's enough about that. Let's move on to actually your career, and let's talk a little bit first about the fight you had Friday night, main event at Texas Station. You were originally supposed to be on the card from last night, but with Diego Magdalena's injury, they moved you over there to main event that fight. Vito Gasparyan, tough guy, hung in there. Your thoughts on the win? Did it go, you know, did it play out how you expected it to? You know, your thoughts on your performance?
Yeah, it was a great win for me. You know, it was another win on the record. You know, 21-0, 9 KOs now. I'm very grateful for the win. You know, I'm thankful with my fans. First of all, we had a great turnout. We have a lot of fans there. We basically packed the Texas Station, and I'm just, you know, I'm very happy that my audience, my fans, they enjoyed the fight. Now coming to my performance, you know, Vito came to fight. He's a tough fighter. He took a lot of shots, a lot of heavy shots, but you could tell that he had that will, that he wanted to win, and that's the only thing he had in his mind, and that's why that made him come out through the whole 10 rounds, because he received a lot of punishment. He really did, but he never quit. You know, in the 9th round, I had him out of there. I really did, but the bell rang. You know, the bell saved him. And he recovered well in the 10th round, and then, you know, we just continued to box. I felt that I won every round, but I mean, it wasn't easy. Gasparyan just put the pressure on him. He had me busy. I had to stay busy. I had to throw a lot of punches to keep him off me, and I hurt him a couple times, and he stopped for a second, but he'd come right back, and he just received a lot of punishment. I give him a lot of credit. You know, he came to fight, and for that reason, we gave the fans a great fight.
Yeah, basically in the 9th round there, right at the 10-second mark, you hit him with a nice uppercut that obviously hurt him, and you did your best to get him out of there, but, you know, it just seems you just didn't quite have enough time. I mean, is that really something that you were just trying to finish him off right there and get a knockout?
Yes, definitely. You know, it's something that I wasn't capitalizing on before in the past, and in my last couple of fights. When I would stun him, I wouldn't just follow up on it, and in this fight, I said that I was going to, and I did. You know, he was trying to hold me, but I just took a couple steps back that I had practiced in the gym, took a couple steps back, received him, made sure he came into the uppercut, and, you know, I just was letting him go. And I landed several shots. Towards the end of the round, he was just basically standing straight up with his hands down. He was out of there. He really was. But, you know, just if they would have gave me 2 more seconds or 1 more punch, or the referee, you could tell in his face he was getting ready to jump in, but the bell rang. But, you know, it happens, and, you know, we went the full unanimous decision. And, you know, all it is another learning experience, and, you know, I'm happy to come out with the win.
Right. Now, in the 10th, I couldn't quite tell, but explain the 10th for us. It looked like either maybe you were just tired, maybe from the flurry trying to finish in the 9th, or you were just comfortable, you know, knowing that you were ahead in the cards by a wide margin, just kind of cruising a victory there. How did you approach the 10th? Were you just, you know, like I said, were you just looking to cruise, or were you a little bit tired?
I was a little tired. I mean, when I heard him, I let everything go in that. I don't want to say I let everything go, but it was like a quick sprint. You know, I threw maybe 10 punches with, you know, as fast as I could. I did some quick movements. You know, I did tire out in those last 10 seconds, But I was able to recover. And I outboxed him well. I gave him a couple of flurries, just, because I wasn't going to cruise through. I didn't want to cruise through just the 10th round. I wanted to land my punches and win that last round, easy.
Now, somewhere around the 7th round or so, I was there with King Mo. You met after the fight. We both kind of noticed it looked like maybe you hurt your hand then, because it looked like you were flexing a little bit, and then after the fight. How's your hand? Did you hurt it during the fight? I mean, was it something you noticed right around then, or how are you doing now?
No, I didn't hurt them. They were sore. That's what it was. They were really sore. I'm telling you, I gave him a lot of clean shots, but he took them. And, at the end of the fight, my hands were sore. They were a little swollen. But, Vito has a hard hit.
Yeah. And this is something we talked about a little bit last week, so I won't get into too much. But, obviously this was, Vito's a tough guy, but where do you want to go next from here? It seems like, some people are saying that, it was a bit of a step back for you and, and questioning what Top Rank's doing with you because you had fought a little bit tougher, or, bigger names at least. Are you happy with who you fought, and where would you like to go next? What kind of competition?
Yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy with who I fought. I mean, it was we're staying busy, and then with each fight we have more to learn. It doesn't matter with who. In this fight, I learned more, so I'm a better fighter out of this fight, and hopefully I do get a. Hopefully my next opponent is a bigger name, but that only my manager Cameron Duncan knows that, and I'm going to talk to him this week and see what's the next step.
So would you become?
Whoever say I'm going to fight, I'm going to fight.
Yeah. Would you be comfortable stepping all the way up to someone like a Maidana, Robert Guerrero type, or you kind of want to go, just
no doubt about it.
Not quite that high.
I would take that in a heartbeat.
Yeah. All right.
I think
the
that
other thing, obviously,
the better fighters,
go ahead.
more talented fighters bring the best out of you. When there's more skill involved, you have to outsmart the opponent. And that's whenever there's two talented fighters in there, they both bring the best out of each other. And it makes it an interesting fight. And I think that's what would happen if they put me with any elite fighter.
Right. So do you feel then that maybe, not necessarily you get complacent against, lesser opponents, but do you feel that for you to be at your best and to really showcase, because, we talked about this before too, that, you've had some ups and downs as far as performance. You've had some brilliant performances and then some that, people criticize. Do you think sometimes that's the caliber of opponent, and that, that the better the fighter is, that the more up in you are for it, and the better that you actually perform yourself?
Yes, you bet. You said it best. That's exactly what I mean. Like this fighter here, he's a tough fighter. He made me stay busy, but he was just tough. He just kept coming forward, and I just let him come into some shots, and I just didn't stop throwing because I was landing everything. I think that the better the talent in front of me, the more talented I will look. Well, I mean, the better performance I will give.
Right. So, obviously you're a huge fan favorite there.
They bring out the best out of you,
Yeah. Now, obviously you're a huge fan favorite here in Las Vegas. What's it like fighting in front of all those people that, so much behind you? How much does that help you?
It helps a lot. At the end of the fight, I came out very happy, just stunned to see all my fans come out, and just very grateful and happy that they were happy with the performance. And I'm just looking forward to giving them another great fight. Last September at the Hard Rock, I had a great fan base there. I had my friends, family, and fans. They all came out and support, and they enjoyed the fight too. This fight, they enjoyed it. And I'm just very grateful, to be in the position that I'm in, and I'm just trying to become the best fighter I can and give the fans a great fight.
Yeah, I noticed that I was at the fight there at the Hard Rock too, and then you definitely after the fight you were mobbed by everybody. Had tons of supporters there, and the same thing here. I walked out just in front of you, and tons of people there, wishing or hoping to see you after the fight and congratulate you. So, it's pretty clear here in Vegas, and and I'm sure expanding out into Mexico and other areas that you're pretty popular with the public.
Thankfully, yes. They're receiving me with open arms, and I'm just very happy to be in this position.
Right. All right, well, so the people that don't know too much about Jessie Vargas, let's just kind of go back a little bit and kind of start from the beginning and, just tell us about, growing up, what kind of family you had, where you grew up, and that kind of thing.
Well, I was born in Los Angeles, California. I moved to Las Vegas when I was about 6 years old. As soon as I got here, my father wanted me to enter to just be involved into sports. That way they would keep me out of trouble, and he took me into karate. I didn't like it. Soccer, I didn't like it, and I was presented into boxing, and I loved the sport from the first day I got there, and I'm still here. I haven't taken any breaks, and I just have a lot of accomplishments and a dream that I'm looking forward to accomplishing and making a reality.
Did you have brothers and sisters growing up? As far as the family goes, how was that? Really close to everybody, or?
I'm very close to my family. I have two sisters. One is 1 year and a half younger than I am, and the other is about 12 years younger than I am. That's a big difference. She's a lot smaller than I am, but in my family, I have my father and my mother, and they're from Mexico, from Guerrero, Mexico, and I was basically raised in Las Vegas. I've always been very close to my family, father, sisters, and mother. And right now they're a part of my team. And they are part of the reason that I am in the position that I am now. They're helping me reach my goals and my dreams.
So how is that with the ladies? It's always interesting how they react in combat sports. Are they all for watching you fight, or are they kind of not like to watch it because they're worried about you getting hurt or something?
Yeah, they're used to it. I've been in this business since I was 8 years old, so they're used to it. My mother, more than anything, she gets very nervous at the fight. I always prefer her not to go. I prefer her not to be at the show, at the fight. I would like for her to see it at home, but she thinks that she brings me luck if she's there. So that makes her happy. I mean, that's okay. Even at this fight, I saw her there. I think it must have been like the 6th round, 7th round, and we were fighting, and we were in a clinch, and I saw my mom. I could tell she was worried, and I just give her like a quick nod, like everything's okay, and then continue to box, continue to fight.
So you're not completely focused on your opponent. You're in there fighting, and you're looking around in the crowd, huh?
Yeah. I mean, I was completely focused on what he was doing, but sometimes you glance and see other things. Like I saw Radio Raheem there when they took a point away. He was the only one clapping for some reason. You do notice things. I mean, as a boxer, you notice a lot of things. On the outside and the inside. I guess I have a good eye.
You had mentioned both your parents were Mexican. How important is that? You're born in L.A., you live in Vegas. How important is that for you to stay in touch with your Mexican roots and to reach out to the Mexican people, and have them be part of your fan base?
Well, I didn't reach out. I don't want to say I didn't reach out to them, but I think they just they like my style and because you can't really reach out to your fans in the beginning. When you're just starting off, all you can do is just communicate with them and thank them for coming out, and hopefully they enjoy your fights. And I think they just grabbed a hold of me and they just started following my career, and they enjoyed my fights, and I'm very thankful for it. I mean, I'm very humble and very blessed and happy and how can I say something? Well, yeah, I mean, I was born in Vegas. My father, coming back to the question, you had two questions there. My father, like I said, my father and my mother, my family's Mexican. They're from Guerrero, Mexico. And they always raised me to know who I was and where I was from. I'm Mexican American. My family is Mexican, and I was born in the United States, so that makes me Mexican American. I'm very proud to be Mexican, and I'm very proud to be American.
Obviously,
and I just grabbed a hold of it, and I speak very good Spanish. I speak very good English, and I just think that I can communicate and relate with my fans pretty good.
Right. Well, obviously, as evidenced last night, Mexican fans are just, phenomenal as far as boxing goes. Kind of compare the fan base a little bit there, because, to me, it just seems like Americans, as opposed to almost any other nationality, are not nationalistic. It's like they'll root for who they like, whereas other countries, they'll root for, I don't know, they'd root for, someone from another country against an American if he was just a more popular guy, whereas the other countries, Mexico, the Philippines, Puerto Rico, whatever, are strictly more nationalistic. So kind of, compare the different fans. Do you feel that the Mexican fans are much more passionate about backing you?
Yes, I do feel that they're a lot more passionate about backing me up, and not just them. I think Mexican fans are just very passionate. I think about boxing, boxing and soccer, and American fans. Us as Americans, we have just so many sports that we enjoy. Like football is huge here, so you know what I mean. And
right.
But the fans that you do have in boxing, I think they all will relate or grab onto a boxer that they could relate to, or maybe that they can, or that they enjoy the fight, like Manny Pacquiao. He seems like a gentleman, in and out of the ring, and I think that's the reason why. And he's an exciting fighter, and I think that's why they grabbed a hold of him. And a lot of Americans support and back up Manny Pacquiao.
Yeah, that's a prime example right there. I bet you, had that fight ever been made between Pacquiao and Mayweather, I bet you, even if the fight was here in America, it would probably be close to 50 people back in Americans back at Pacquiao as they would back in Mayweather. But, I think, like I said, Americans are just less nationalistic than some of the other countries, whether that's right or wrong. It just kind of is what it is.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So you said your father wanted you involved in sports. You didn't like a couple of the other ones. You got to boxing and you enjoyed that. So just explain how you first started, where you went, who you were with, that kind of thing. Just when you very first started.
All right. Well, when I very first started, I started at the Nevada Partners boxing gym in North Las Vegas, and I started off. They assigned me with a trainer there. The manager of the gym was Richard Steele, and what else do I remember? Let's see. I trained with Jeff Mayweather a while, Roger Mayweather as well, and I had another amateur coach at one point. One amateur coach because I think he had a group of kids that he would take to the tournament, and yeah, those are some of the guys that I worked with: Roger Mayweather, Jeff Mayweather, Joe Bonales, and just recently, last July, I started training with Robert Alcazar.
Right. So going back to there, I know you like you'd mentioned, you've known Jeff for a long time. I was always curious. I never knew. Why did you? You always got along. Why did you not work with him or stay with him, or what was the? It doesn't matter how well you get along. Sometimes styles are just what they are. But what was it about him that made you think that he wasn't the guy for you as far as going, with your career?
Well, he had a lot of pros. He's always had a lot of professionals, and at that time I was the amateur. And he had to go, to other gyms with other professional boxers. And I think that was the reason why. It was a while ago. It was a few years back. I was a kid at that age, but yeah, I think that was the reason why. He had professionals, and he had to move around with them.
Right. So now, but before Robert Alcazar, you're most well known for being with Roger. Explain, getting with him and how well you guys fit, together when you were starting out.
With Roger?
Yeah.
Since I was a kid, I remember he would say a lot of good things. He was like, the first thing he would do is get me on the mitts, and he showed me how to get the combinations right. And he said, this little one was another De La Hoya. At that time, De La Hoya was in his prime, and he was undefeated. And, we always had a good relationship with Roger. And he was a fun guy. I remember he was a fun guy, and he is a fun guy now to hang out with. But, yeah, have good memories with both of them.
So you left Roger and went to Robert Alcazar. How was that split? Was Roger cool with it? Any hard? You said you guys are, are you guys still cool to get along, or is there any kind of tension there?
You know what? I hope there's any intention. I haven't. No, I mean, we still say hello to each other when we see each other.
Yeah.
It was just decision that I had to make at that time.
Right. Now, why was what was the reason for the switch to Robert Alcazar? A lot of people speculated that perhaps you made the switch because at that time you're just coming into being a pretty well-known contender that maybe a switch to him with his ties to Oscar De La Hoya and that kind of thing, that was kind of an attempt to reach out to your Mexican fan base. Was that the case, or was it more to that? What led you to go over to Robert?
One of the reasons there was he was busy with Floyd at that time, and that was one of the reasons why. And I just thought that I had to make the switch.
Yeah, it's always got to be tough,
and he's a great trainer. I mean.
Yeah, it's got to be tough for a fighter on the way up. You're obviously not a nobody. You're a contender, but and hopefully you will be someday where Floyd is. But yeah, it's always got to be kind of tough when you're worried about your thing, and obviously Roger's going to be more devoted to Floyd because obviously that's a it doesn't get much bigger than that. So it's got to be kind of a little difficult for you to.
That's his family, It's not that.
Right.
I mean, it's. I think they're if you look at them, they're like father and son. They're really close, and that's the way it should be. That's the way it should be, and he is concentrated on Floyd.
Right. So how was the switch to Alcazar? I mean, it seemed like when you first started, the first couple outings weren't so great. You looked really good on Friday night. How was the transition? Change in styles, that kind of thing. How have things gone between you two so far?
The style is perfect. I get him. I get the style that he's applying to me and what we're working with. And it's just a variety of things. We're working different types of style. We're working the inside, working the outside. I could do both. How to we're perfecting that jab, knowing how to use speed when we need to, use the power when we need to. Because I do have, I'm a strong fighter. It's just we need to know when to apply what at what point of a fight. It's just we're working on a lot of different things. Head movement, but it's step by step. In each fight you see something different in me, and all it is improvement. I'm only 23 years old.
All right. Yeah, that's what I think people forget. It seems like you've been around for 20 years, but you're, like you said, you're 23 years old. So obviously there's a lot you can improve on. Shortly after switching to Robert Alcazar, you switched managers, went to Cameron Duncan, and then following that, it was kind of the writing was on the wall that that you left Mayweather Promotions and went over to Top Rank. Explain the move there for the folks, because that's the one thing, with you. I mean, as far as what, everybody has an opinion on, and of course, anything that involves Mayweather, Top Rank, Golden Boy, whatever, is always going to bring out, the fans on one side or another. Explain why the decision was made, and you caught a lot of criticism because some people felt, and the thing is, everybody, people don't know the behind the story or behind the scenes stories or something, but you got some criticism for people saying that you made the move while Floyd was in jail, and that wasn't right. So just explain what went through your mind as far as making the switch and how you came to it.
Well, I mean, you're never gonna have everyone happy. I wish I did. I wish I can. I wish it was possible, but it's not. You have people that are Team Mayweather. You have some people that are anti-Mayweather. You know what I mean? Of course, the people that are anti-Mayweather, they're gonna like the decision. The people that are Team Mayweather, they're not going to, or just if someone wants to say negativity, they could just say, well, he wasn't loyal. But at the end of the day, this is business. If whoever says that you're not loyal, I respect Floyd. I like Floyd. I have nothing bad to say about him. I thank him for everything he's done. He's the guy in my career good. But whoever says that, I will repeat to him, hey, if you're making $20 an hour at your job now, and someone's offering you $30 an hour, what are you gonna take? You know what I mean?
Right.
I have my family, and I also have to look out for them. And the reason I made the switch was because, I was offered a better deal with Top Rank. I didn't go behind Floyd's back. I told Floyd, when we were in negotiations when we were in negotiations, I let Floyd know that I was negotiating with there was negotiations in on another side, and I let him know clearly. But we were, before he went to jail, we were talking, but at the end of the day, Top Rank, I liked the deal that Top Rank offered me better. That's all it was.
Right. Yeah. Is it frustrating for you at all? Because you're a pretty nice guy. Is it frustrating for you that people that don't know the situation and like we both said, it's, you have Top Rank people, you have Golden Boy people, you have Floyd people, and it doesn't matter what kind of guy you are. If you're with one or the other, they don't like you. So how frustrating is that for you when people that don't know the story or whatever kind of judge you based on facts they know nothing about it? Does that irritate you, or just kind of let it roll off?
Yeah, well, thankfully, people have already left that. It seems like they have left it behind me. It's something that we passed already, and now they're looking more into my style, into how I'm fighting, and I think that I'm winning them over. And whoever wasn't happy with the move that I did to Top Rank, they're still tuning into my fights, and some of them I'm winning over, some of them I'm not. But I just hope that at the end of the day they just enjoy any Jessie Vargas fight, whether you're a fan or not. Right.
Now, we talked a little bit earlier about where you feel you're at. At the, like, after for example, the Steve Forbes fight, you read around, you're a bum, you have no future, and then, after this fight here, it seems like, the people that you had lost have come back. You're getting a lot of positive reviews on it. People are really ready for you to step up. Where do you feel your talents are right at this moment compared with other fighters? I know you said you'd fight them, but do you feel you're right there? Basically, and still a kid at 23, but do you feel your level of skill is right where it needs to be and comparable to anybody else in your division?
I do feel I'm right there. I feel I'm right there with the top guys. I think that all I need is to be given the opportunity. I think that some fighters are given too much publicity than what they should be. Too much. I give everyone credit. Everyone's trying to do their best, but I don't think that the best fighters are the best fighters in the welterweight division. I just think that they got the right fights, and they've been taken care of. I would love a shot at Robert Guerrero. I think he's Andre Berto. Andre Berto, they have him as one of the top guys, and he's a good fighter, but I don't want to put anyone down. But I just think that there's some fighters that are up there that they give them too much credit, but hopefully. But then again, we need to be given the opportunity in order to show that we are better. So hopefully soon I will get the opportunity. It's easy.
Right.
But yeah.
Are those two specifically the ones that you're talking about that you think that as you said, maybe got more credit than they deserve, or anyone else in particular? And it's not really a knock on them. It's not like they gave themselves the credit. It's someone else does. So, are there just those two specifically that stick out to you? Or are there some other guys that you think that maybe aren't quite up to what they're claimed to be?
I don't want to target anyone, but I do think there's some fighters out there that they're ranked top 5, top maybe 8, 10, and I don't think that they're that great of boxers. They're that good of a boxer, but we just have to prove them wrong. Hopefully I get the opportunity in order to show that me at the age of 23, I can take any of those guys out. But whether it's now or whether when I'm on 24 or 25, hopefully it's soon. I want it now. I want it at the age of 23. But at the end of the day, I have someone guiding my career, and he's looking out for my best interest. So as long as I have God on my side, I will get there sooner or later.
Right. I was looking at the rankings the other day. You're up there at number 5 there now, but yet you haven't fought anybody that's that highly ranked. Putting yourself on a.
I fought Josecito Lopez. He beat Victor Ortiz, which is ranked one of the top guys. Steve Forbes. He had some good wins under him, and I made him look like a kid, like an amateur. I really did. You know, I mean, I know that there was mistakes made in that fight, but I made him look, I mean, like an amateur. I really did. You know, I think that in my fights, you know, I'm just winning unanimously. 10-round divisions, you know. I mean, 10-round fights.
Now, obviously, do you consider the Lopez fight the biggest victory of your career?
I think that he was. I mean, I had only 16 fights under my belt, and he had 27, I think, at the time. And I was only 21 years old. He was 26 years old, so he was in his prime, you know. And I was able to beat him, and he came back and beat Victor Ortiz, who had just lost to Floyd, and Victor Ortiz was known as you know, the top guy, one of the top guys in the welterweight division. So I think it was a huge win for me, and no one gave me the credit. A lot of people didn't give me credit, but you know, once they saw that Lopez was for real, you know, then of course they were, hey, Jessie beat him. You know, he's serious. So I think that that was a huge win for me.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing. You know, basically,
just give him a taste of what I can do. I was only 21. I only had 16 fights. You know, you put Lopez in front of me, I feel that I will stop him. You know, I have a lot more experience now, and I'm stronger now. I'm much stronger now. But that's the same reason why Josecito never asked for the rematch. He's a warrior. I'm sure he's not scared of anyone, but you know, he's never asked for the rematch. I know me as a fighter, if someone beat me, I want the rematch. You know, but.
Okay. Yeah, it was, you know, kind of at the time, you know, you got credit for it. It was a nice win, but it's definitely something, you know, with his victory over Ortiz, it's definitely come across as a, you know, bigger win than some people thought at the time. You know, but a lot of people, that fight there, you know, went to split decision. A lot of people thought that Lopez actually won the fight. In your estimation, why do you feel that you won the fight?
I won the fight because, I mean, I landed the best punches. I landed the most punches and the cleanest punches. I had him hurt in the last round, in the 10th round. I won the whole. I mean, if you see him, I mean, I made him miss so many punches just with my head movement. I boxed him at distance. I hit him every time he came in. You know, if you pay attention to the fight, see who lands the most punches. You know, he would just land. Every now and then he'd land some wild shots. Not so much wild, but he'd open up a lot more than I would, and sometimes they would have clean and crisp because of that. But I'm a puncher. I don't need to load up and cock back in order for me to hurt you with a punch. You know, I could hit you from just right there, straight down the middle, and then he'll feel it, and that's what happened. I mean, you see him after the fight, you could tell on his face that he was punished much more than I was.
Yeah. Now, you know, it seems like nobody really ever denies your talent, but it seems like you know, and obviously you've only had, you know, 21 fights, so, but it's, you know, in every career, in every great career, there's always that one signature moment, the one moment that, you know, you say, wow, this guy's here, he's arrived. Do you feel you've had that moment yet? You know, and if not, I mean, do you agree with me?
I haven't had it yet. I haven't had that moment yet. But you know, I'm sure I will have it soon.
Yeah, and it seems like, you know, perhaps that's the one thing, you know, like I said, everybody acknowledges how talented you are, but, you know, the naysayers, they want to say, well, you're not there yet, but, you know, I think that's the thing, you know, you haven't had that one thing, and you almost had it maybe there in the 9th round the other night, you know, just ran out, just didn't quite have enough time to finish that off, but it does seem like that's the one thing that, you know, that signature moment that, you know, I guess maybe against, you know, Vivian Harris, the early knockout there, but you know, someone that, you know, was kind of past his prime, so maybe that wasn't quite it.
Yeah. You know, we haven't got that moment just yet, you know, but we have time, so there's no problem. I mean, you have all these guys, like Robert Guerrero, I think he's 28 years old. Victor Ortiz is 26, 27 years old. All these guys that are just coming up, just becoming world champions, they're in their 26, 27, 28 years old. Some of them are 30. Some of them are 30 years old. So, to me, being at 23 years old and being known as a contender, you know, it means that, you know, I'm for real. And, you know, but I will get the shot, you know, hopefully before I'm 24, but if not when I'm 24, it's fine. But, you know, I think I'm very grateful, and everything has been happening the way it should be. You know, I think that, you know, have God on my side, and when it's meant to be, when it's meant to happen, it will happen.
Right. And what about the being in divisions that's just full of so many really tough top contenders? What's it like fighting there? As opposed to a more anonymous division. Obviously the paydays eventually will be much better for you. But just tell us a little about being in such a talented stacked division.
There's just much. There's a lot more opportunities. There's of course there's more money, but there's more competition. So I think it's a benefit for me. There's more competition. There's a bigger opportunity to be given an opportunity because you have more fighters out there that are well known as one of the best in my division. So I think it's a good division to be in.
Yeah. And just again, you're 23 years old. So what kind of goals do you have for the future for yourself? Besides, obviously you want to be a champion, but what do you want to accomplish? How long do you want to fight for?
As long as I want to fight.
Let me interrupt you for a second. I said Vivian Harris earlier. I meant Walter Estrada, the knockout there, not Vivian Harris. But anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead there.
Oh no, not a problem. You know what? I want to be in this sport till I feel that my body isn't responding the same as when I was. That whenever I feel that my body isn't responding the same, and I'm not, at that. When I'm starting to slow down, then I'll think about it. But I mean, boxing is a big part of my life. I've been in here since I was 8 years old, and I don't plan on retiring soon. I have a lot of goals that I want to accomplish, and one of them is to become one of the best in the sport, and to be a fan favorite. I always every Jessie Vargas fight, I want my fans to enjoy that night.
Right. And then just finally, obviously the hardest thing for any professional athlete in any sport to do is to give it up. Are you worried that, and, you say you want to get out at the right time, but are you worried that, when you're 35, 36, 40, however old it might be, that, that it'll be hard for you to leave the sport and move on to another phase of your life? And if not, what do you plan to do afterwards? Do you plan on staying in the sport and being a trainer, or you can do something completely different, or, what are your goals afterwards?
I'm sure that it's not going to be an easy decision the day that I say, hey, let's hang up the gloves. But I'm not thinking about that right now. To tell you the truth, what I do know is I'm going to try to make smart, invest my money in smart business opportunities. That's what I hope that I can do. It looks like I'm in that route. I have my father that gives me good pointers, good tips on maybe what to do with my money, and I hope that once I start making some big bucks, I just make some smart business deals, and I know how to invest my money. So when I retire, I don't have anything to worry about. And I would actually like to become a boxing trainer. I mean, yes, I would.
And then just to kind of bookend it with what we started the conversation with, speaking of retiring, that kind of thing, do you think Manny should retire? Do you think he should keep fighting? And any chance we ever see Floyd against either Juan Manuel Marquez or Manny at this point?
I mean, I'm not the first person to ask, but in my opinion, I'm not sure. I don't think the people would be that interested in a Pacquiao-Mayweather fight as much as they were before. I'm sure it would still be interesting, but then they won't be as interested as they once were. I think Marquez Floyd rematch would be interesting because now Marquez looks stronger than he was when he fought Floyd for the first time. So there's just a lot of possibilities for those three fighters, and not just them. Other fighters, you have Brandon Rios coming into the mix. Maybe he'll get a shot at Pacquiao. Coming back to your question about if Pacquiao whether he should retire or not, I think he should think about what he really wants to do, And if he thinks that he has one more in him, or maybe most likely he'll try one more to see if this fight didn't affect him much, and if he's still the same Pacquiao. And I think he's gonna give it a test. And I think Brandon Rios would be a great fight.
And it's easy for people on the keyboard to sit there and type that someone should retire or not, but especially when you're making that kind of money, even coming off a loss, he's still going to make more than $10 million for his next fight. So it's kind of hard to tell someone with that kind of financial incentive what they should do with their career. And basically what it boils down to, you had a great fight there and one punch ended it. So just because you screw up one time, should that end everything for you? It's tough for us to say.
Yeah, I mean, if I would give him any advice, I mean, I'm very young. I'm sure you can give me more advice than I could give him. But if you want to ask me, I would say, take time off and come back and recover. Take that time to recover and just have fun and come back with wanting to become the best again.
Right. And then this last thing on that, just to get your thoughts on as a fighter, one of the criticisms, or not really criticism, but one thing people mention that he seems to be distracted, whether it be the politics, the humanitarian work, the singing, whatever it is, that he doesn't seem to have his full, spirit and mind into the game. How important is it that you as a fighter, it's not baseball, it's not golf, you can get hurt. How important is it as a fighter to be completely and fully invested into the sport and not distracted by anything else?
Yeah, well, I think a boxer needs to be 100% focused on his career. I mean, you also understand that. I mean, every boxer has a family, and his family is always going to be a part of his life. So, you have to know how to. I think you have to know how to manage boxing, family, and if other things were to come, just manage them. But a distraction is definitely something that can hurt you in this sport of boxing.
Right. Well, as we said, Jesse, 21-0, coming off a really impressive victory this past week. Congratulations on that. Just as we wrap it up here, what can the folks look for Jessie Vargas in the future?
Well, I'm hoping to come back. Coming right back. I'm ready to go into the gym and make a fight happen. Hopefully, and I can't say when. I would love to fight in January, February, but I'm going to have a meeting with my manager and this week, and we're going to talk and see when the next fight is. I hope you stay tuned. I hope you stay informed when my next fight is, and I hope you enjoy it. I hope you enjoy this next fight. Whenever it is that it comes up, I will let you know. I'm hoping to start a new Twitter page at the beginning of next year, and just thank you for all the support. Thank you for having my back, and just hope you enjoy the next Jessie Vargas fight.
Yeah, all the folks can keep up with you on ProBoxingInsider.com. We'll always have the latest information on you. I know you have a fan page. You just look up Jessie Vargas. Was it La Nueva Generation? Say it for me in Spanish. I'm not good.
No, it's just Jessie Vargas. Just the fan page, Jessie Vargas, and yeah, we're
okay.
In the pride of Las Vegas,
and you're,
here we are, and just working hard.
Yeah, and you're really good at being interactive with the fans. I know you always respond to them, so yeah, they can check with you there if they want to keep up with you. Jesse, we really, appreciate having you on here and sharing with us your story. Just, any last thing you want to add before we wrap things up?
Not much. I want to thank you for having me on your show. It was a pleasure being on, and hopefully we can do it soon again.
All right, Jesse, appreciate it, and thanks so much for joining us. We're going to sign out with a little bit of mariachi music that wasn't quite your style, but it's the closest thing we got. So thanks, Jesse, and tune in next week. We'll have another MMA fighter for you next Sunday. Take care, and thanks so much, Jessie Vargas.
No problem. Thank you. Bye-bye.